anyway, Game Freak is making Town, but... And yes, that did kind of split development, but... That's also, while I get why people would say, oh, Game Freak has...
I thought that, like, most of the people are working on Town was a bit more of, like, a rumor and wasn't 100%.
They haven't said how many, but apparently it's
so, to be fair, that is a rumor.
No, but my point is, in general, sometimes you have to, you know, manage, and then we have the whole just underlying nonsense where I would have to see the game when it's complete, but I guarantee you that there's not going to be a massive animation bump. And I really don't think, you know, we should have cut Pokemon. Especially because, like, in general...
I don't want to 100% be that guy, because it gets a bit into, you know, like, this isn't competitively viable. Well, but it is, like, outside of, you know, ironic meme, like, culture, who really does like stuff like Wormadam, or like, Bidoof, or Sunflora? No one actually uses those. Those only exist for the ironic memes of people finding ways to make them useful.
It's more...
That no one actually genuinely likes them.
But, to a lot of people, they collect Pokemon for a enjoyment of filling the decks, or just seeing how many Pokemon...
And again, because they are bad, you know, like, people will do stupid challenge runs like the Bidoof only run.
Like, people just, in general, I think about Pokemon competitively, but you sometimes have to step back and think, maybe John over here, maybe John just wants to put Wormadam trash in his game for the Pokedex. Or, you know, sometimes you forget about, like, another common one a lot of people would say, what if, you know, your first shiny is Wormadam trash? Like, you just want to keep your first shiny.
I believe the first shiny I did stumble into by pure happenstance was a Sandslash.
Get my point. Maybe...
I got that by pure happenstance.
There's a story that was spreading around in the middle of this Pokedex controversy.
Damn it. Why did you use... I forgot.
A story that was spreading around in this Pokedex controversy that was a good example of, why a guy wanted to keep some Pokemon. The Pokemon a guy was transferring were Pokemon from a friend of his, and that friend had died. And the dude had sentimental value with these random junk Pokemon because they belonged to a dead friend. And that guy was keeping the Pokemon not because they were useful, but because he didn't want to lose the last remnants of his friend. And some people have random little reasoning like that. You know, that's kind of the whole thing there, where certain people just maybe have a deeper sentimental value for a Pokemon. And you can make a joke, who cares about Wormadam trash? But it's the Wormadam trash from the guy who died of cancer. You know, you won't, like, and I mean, the other thing is that they've just, you know, consistently sent the, bullshit with Generation 3 that every subsequent generation has supported via transfer methods a way to keep old Pokemon. Why the fact that they are stopping, I really do feel, is kind of horrible, and to claim it's for the sake of balance is really funny. And then, in general, I also hate that Mega Evolution has been tossed aside. Because for the few Pokemon that were actually really good because of Mega Evolution, you have, this ridiculous... Like a lot of people pointed out, you can say, oh, Mega Rayquaza is a bridge too far, but what about a Pokemon that could actually decently use a Mega to be okay? Like Lopunny!
Or Beedrill.
Oh yeah, Beedrill's a really good example of... Or Mawile. Mawile is garbage. Mawile is a really bad Pokemon unless it has a Mega Evolution, and it's just an unfortunate... Like, to jump between just some topics of just things I feel, in general, I feel like Mega Evolution isn't inherently unbalanced.
It's just they gave it to a bunch of Pokemon that didn't fucking need them.
But Mewtwo.
Mewtwo didn't fucking need it. You didn't need two of them either.
But Mewtwo was just too weak, person.
No. No, it wasn't. If you Mega Evolutions being gone, I will be gone. Like, I will be gone, because like, there are a few, like, Mega Evolutions that are just fucking busted, but also at the same... Oh god. That's bullshit.
Mega Rayquaza, notwithstanding...
But, that's what I was going to say, while there are a few Mega Evolutions like that were busted, there are a few others that were good, and I do feel like the Dynamax is going to be broken in a sort of different sense. Well, it comes down to if Dynamax does increase their stats or not, because, again, we're still unsure.
Gigantamaxing apparently does, making
so then
it...
Dynamax seems to just make the move stronger, but...
The balance between the two, from the way people are kind of explaining it, seems to be a Dynamax Pokemon is not stronger. The move is stronger. But the move being stronger, you have to take the base into account. So, like, let's talk about Garchomp. Garchomp has, a 130 attack stat. If Garchomp were to Dynamax, apparently its attack stat wouldn't go up, but now its Earthquake would be like 300 power.
But, and, like, that's also I feel with the... Well, I have to see, like, what, Gigantamax does, because Dynamax was, like, shown to just be the moves. I feel like the meta for Sword and Shield is going to be a lot more weather-based, like it was in Generation 5, because of the fact that at weather, the moves set weather when used, so...
Elemental moves can set weather
and the terrain,
which gives you a very unique. You're gonna have your Pokemon. You're gonna have your Dynamax Pokemon. Or your Gigantamax, because I believe regardless you only get one. But the two having different key rolls, where Gigantamax...
One is now close, like, one is close to a Z move, one is close to a Mega Evolution.
Yes. Which creates a different kind of balance idea, but regardless, I still feel we're gonna end up with the few Pokemon that are
like I feel like a lot of things that heavily benefit from the weather are going to get a big focus in this generation, and the weather wars are coming back.
It's going to definitely be a weather-focused game, and just the other thing it's going to be is, you know, kind of the big hit-focused game and weird nonsense counterplays.
I say that, but the funny thing is, with because of the Gigantamax, Dynamax, you know, seems to not increase stats. Because of that means things, you know, speed stats and stuff would be normal, and because of the weather thing, you would actually want to go slower. To get your weather up when using a type that sets weather, you would actually want to go slower than your opponent.
Is this worth doing? Did you use this when you fought this boss? Yeah. Okay.
Isn't that the same? Let's try.
Who's the best person for this one? I used. Did I use Morgana? I think I used Morgana. Huh.
Leave it to me. Smart decision.
Brian kind of dozed off there in the middle of...
Oh, trust me, that's...
Yeah. Just rambling about...
What I'm seeing is exactly what I thought I would see. Like I told him, we were talking about this situation, and I said, well, probably the worst thing about Madarame on Merciless isn't really his palace, it's more this boss fight.
Like, we were just rambling about Pokemon and just, you know, the crap where Game Freak...
This fight is dumb.
I mean, like I said, I'm just 100% against the entire situation because I don't understand why there should be any Pokemon game that's supposed to be a new addition to the main series of games that does not have all the Pokemon in it just because you don't want to actually do the work to put the Pokemon in the game.
The metagame needed balancing. There's too many now.
You know, it's something I find kind of...
Over 700! Perfectly fine to let all 700 coexist. Oh, we're over 800 now. That's a bridge too far.
Something I find funny, like, before this, and this kind of shows how the internet's hypocrisy and stuff works. Didn't it for years people said that they should do a,
There's been people who have wanted Game Freak to do this because they...
Let me bring in some insight here, then. Since, you know... What was Pokemon 1? It was literally the I'm Mewtwo. Get fucked. If we want to get deeper than that, it was the game of...
Holy shit.
It was the game of I'm Jolteon. Pin Missile's stupid. My speed helps me do crits.
On top of that move having a high crit rate.
Oh,
Jolteon's a special attacker and you would
So, despite technical issues and technical differences, there's nothing that says that making a smaller number makes the game more balanced. I think probably the biggest hypocrisy in terms of balance is the idea that people think that balance exists in a competitive environment. and that somehow you will be able to throw shit at the wall long enough until you basically have every single character in your game 100% clear cut, be so equal against each other that they are so equal they are not different. Now, if you understand what I just said, that meant that basically instead of having 10 different fighters in your fighting game, you have 10 slots of the same exact character. That's balanced.
Well, yeah.
If you want to get into balance, that's balance.
Well, you say that, but Budokai Tenkaichi 3 has the same character 300 times, and that game's fucking busted.
Oh, no. That game's realistic to Dragon Ball. That's why that game's busted. That's why that game's busted. That game's realistic to Dragon Ball.
Oh, that game. But in general, for like Pokemon, like I was saying a couple of times.
Again, like Sean said earlier, when we were talking about this, not on recording, League of Legends is a game with 100 and something champions. Now, I said it before and I'll say it again. No, that game is not balanced. Is that game ever going to be balanced? No. That's why you have the thing called a meta. It literally tells you what's good and what's not. That easily could be changed in a span of over time, or in literally the next patch if Riot is so stupid enough to basically sit there and do a thing like make a tier 5 character randomly tier 1 by doing something dumb. The game's health is what what people should be focusing on. People concern themselves on too much about saying something like the game's not balanced. The game's never going to be balanced, or else you literally aren't going to be playing the game. If the game was perfectly balanced, then you literally find nothing interesting about the game anymore. The fact that you have a rotating system where this character becomes good then, and that character becomes good later, is the whole point. Why you find the game interesting is because the game's different.
The other thing with Pokemon that a lot of people kind of forget about, the Pokemon Company controls VGC and sets rules on what can and can't be used. So, if, like a lot of people said...
you don't need to have house rules to ban Mega Rayquaza if he's not in the game. Just Thanos him away.
No, but that's like, if you, like a lot of people said, if you want rules at VGC to say no Mega Rayquaza, then make Mega Rayquaza just banned from VGC. It's like, you ultimately have a legal tournament you control that you can have a ban list or a control list like they've done for years. And most VGC rule sets are limited every season anyway.
I mean, I don't see why they were trying to, anybody that's trying to pass off this idea of balance in the first place, because VGC in itself is unbalanced, because it's literally just a literal legendary fest.
Depending on the VGC season, you're normally, it's like 1 or 2 legendaries are allowed. So, depending on the rule set, cause, like, to defend VGC for a minute, there was
someone who plays on small gun rules, how big of a difference is the gap between just literally letting someone have 2 legendaries?
VGC is a double battle format of teams of 4. That would mean, in a VGC rule where you had 2 restricted Pokemon, half your team in a team of 4, in a double battle scenario, can create a very interesting gap depending on other rules. Like, a couple of VGCs ago, in one of the Sun and Moon VGCs, they banned Mega Evolution and they banned Primal Reversion. So, you could bring a Groudon or a Kyogre, but it couldn't be a Primal form. and it was like the limited 2 slots. I'm not saying it's perfect, but in a double battle scenario, which VGC is double battles, the amount of extra control you can get out of a match is different in the restricted rule sets because you have to play around a lot more. Where, yes, you can say having 2 restricted Pokemon is ridiculous, but depending on what someone else's 2 restricted Pokemon are, or other non-banned Pokemon, I've seen some shenanigans. I'm not saying it's perfect, and
I look at it like this, and this is how I've always looked at VGC. The reason we have double battles and literally don't play singles is because they think they can pass double battles off for things being busted.
Well, I mean, that makes sense because double battles are harder anyway because no one plays them.
Right.
So, which means that in itself is a different form of balance. I mean, if Pokemon really wanted to, like, create challenge, all they have to do is literally make you play a game where you do triple battles. In fact, honestly, I'm not sure why we don't just do... I'm not sure why we don't just have... Look, I don't understand why Pokemon isn't just all 6 your Pokemon are out, and you're just playing rotation battle the whole time.
Didn't they take rotation and triple battles out because there was that soft glitch in both of them?
Like, I literally don't understand why we don't just have 6 Pokemon rotation battle, where you can literally press a button and use move, since that's pretty much what Pokemon is anyway. But that's me.
rotation
But
battle.
I'm out of time. I need to
Yeah.
go.
So, I'll just stop this ramble, cut it into a couple of parts, because we had some decent, just rambly opinions that would be worth some funny filler, and like I made that joke about bringing back the unscripted rambling theater. Sean needed to go, so to have a more coherent end to this final part here, I'm likely going to have an end slate properly ready for this. I think I made one. I don't actually remember. Anyway, I'm cutting to that. See you guys next time. This set of videos is over. So, here comes a proper end slate. It's time for the question of the day, my overall thoughts on the topic. So, anyway, will you guys be getting Pokemon Sword and or Pokemon Shield? We will be getting both games because I wanted to play through the games so that I could actually judge them fairly. While I think the National Pokedex thing is really stupid, I still wanted to give these games a fair shot instead of blindly hating on a game I never even attempted to play. This way, my opinion will be based on what I play, and it's not just me blindly hating on the game for no good reason. So, once the LP drops, you can see my opinion and Carson's opinion unfold as we LP the game. I thought that would be a fair way to judge the game as a whole, but anyway, you can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments, or you can leave them on social media. All my social media links are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a shill for a minute. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and leave some comments. If you want to keep up with our videos, hit the subscription button and ring the notification bell. And if you follow me on social media, that helps our communities grow. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video. See you all next time.